Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Wednesday, July 18th, the morning show. Of course, we are chugging along through the All-Star break week. Jimmy the Bag is on an extremely, very well-deserved break, little hiatus. So I'm flying solo all week long, and we're having a little bit of fun. Not as much to break down and analyze as normal, but the general great analysis, slightly from myself and mostly from the comment section, continues on, and we are having a pretty profitable week. Yesterday, we pretty much nailed the All-Star game, right? I gave a whole bunch of picks that cashed. I did give the American League -1, which cashed. It was extra innings, but I also said my best bet was the team total over 3.5, cashed easily. So I had two winners yesterday. Then the Summer League, I wound up passing on the Summer League, but all of our educated Summer League handicappers in the comments section said that they liked Portland. I also gave the opinion that if you like Portland, probably that's correlated with the under. Portland, of course, won by double digits. The game did go under despite the total getting bet up. So we pretty much nailed that one. And then WNBA, unreal. I passed on everything yesterday except for we'll talk about this. I gave, once again, I gave one play on a WNBA game that lost, and every other play that I could have made with the same handicapping factors wound up winning. The morning show, of course, King Rail and Native Queen and others nailed the morning WNBA game. And then the evening game, Atlanta did win outright, and our own King Rail said that he liked a bet on Atlanta small to win outright at +240. They did win outright. I wound up giving the Atlanta first half team total over, which lost. But then, of course, their full game team total covered easily. They wound up covering. The game wound up going over. And so my basic handicapping of that game was correct. It's just my actual pick wound up losing, which is, that's how sports betting goes. You got to handicap correctly. Then you got to make your picks appropriately, then you got to bet size appropriately, and then you got to react appropriately to the wins or the losses. And I had that WNBA game roughly handicapped appropriately, but made the wrong pick. I took kind of a weak sauce move, taking the Atlanta first half team total over. It lost. Full game team total over, which I was also thinking about, cashed, easily. And of course, they did win outright. And then even in MMA, I had a loser with Trevino. I went head to head with our own Annie Marak. He liked Vanderford on the other side, and he won with that one. And he also gave us two other big underdogs that he liked yesterday. One of them lost, one of them cashed. Great friggin' call on Pilarte. Annie Marak gave us some winners in MMA. So overall, it was a profitable day all around. I had a couple of bad plays, but overall, it was a profitable day. And the comment section, of course, as usual, unreal, unbelievable. Agreed with me on the All-Star game, nailed the Summer League, nailed WNBA, and nailed MMA yesterday. That's all the comment section, not myself. I nailed the All-Star game, didn't have the balls to take plays on my Summer League leagues, and lost in the WNBA and MMA, but overall had a profitable day anyway. So things are, just a huge shout out of congratulations to everyone in the comment section who gives such good advice and insights, day in and day out, absolutely, including yesterday. All right, let's see. What else do we have? We do have early WNBA games. One of them went off. I might have made a mistake. I tweeted out 3 plays on the 12 o'clock Eastern time game. I did give the opinion that I thought that it might be a little bit of a down spot, at least offensively, for Seattle. So I did take the Seattle team total under at 92, and I also took the Chicago Sky first half +5. Hopefully I won't get burned by that. And then we do have a 1 o'clock WNBA that's coming up right now. Sometimes it can be a little bit tough to be on the road in these early games, as we saw yesterday with Dallas. Unbelievable. It was just a great call by Native Queen and King Rail liking Dallas early yesterday, and I also saw that after the game was over. After the game was over, I realized that Dallas was a great play early on, and I should have realized it before the game. But here we go. Native Queen, okay. Okay, Native Queen likes the Storm, first quarter -2.5. She also likes the first half under, which I did take as well. I had to take 86.5. Native Queen apparently got 87.5. Nice job, Native Queen. I took first half under 86.5. Native Queen likes the Storm first quarter, but notably not the first half. So I just took Chicago on the first half +5, and wow, hail to the victors, like Storm Sky full game under. That's what I was thinking as well. 176. It's a high total. Got bet way up from 172 to 176. I was was leaning under, and I did bet that one a little bit. I just didn't want to give that one as an official play because I did give the first half under and the Seattle team total under, so I didn't really want to triple up on unders. But I like the full game under as well. And of course, we do have a 1 o'clock game that's coming up, which is very interesting, which is Indiana against Minnesota. A very interesting handicapping situation. We'll see what everyone thinks about that. But right now, I'm seeing King Rail in the house, Native Queen in the house, Torino Tomer in the house, Kobe Valentine in the house, Jim Tobleson in the house, Big Dick Donnie in the house. Shout out to Big Dick Donnie. So we'll get some nice opinions there, I'm sure, on the, not good. King Rail likes Seattle. First half and full game, -4.5 and -5. Yeah, I mean, Seattle is a much better team, and Chicago has been slumping recently. And one of my bad tendencies, when especially, I mostly just do this in NBA, is I outthink myself. I just have a tendency to outthink myself and take contrarian plays. I tend to take unders when two high-scoring teams are going together with a high total and it soars over, and I tend to do what I did today, which is try to time a reversal of form when a bad team is going up against a good team, especially when they're at home. And I might have made another mistake here. King Rail likes Seattle. And that's not a good sign. I might be staring a loser right in the face there. Well, maybe I'll get the Seattle team total under in the first half under and have a 2-1 day. But I did tweet out Chicago Sky first half +5 -110, and I might be staring a loser right in the face on that one. And we will also have the second half of that game coming up at about 12:50 or so Eastern time as well. Scotty Rock Forever says, Pete, you're screwed. Yeah, thanks. I know that. I'm hoping now for a 2-1 day with my 3 picks in the first WNBA game of the day. Yes, Christopher Carter says, Pete, that AL team total over 3.5 was cash money. Yeah, I mean, the lineup was just awesome, and we'll see what the lineups are next year. But again, if the American League keeps trotting out significantly stronger all-star lineups in the National League, we're going to see this year in and year out, and we might see it tomorrow. So Kirk King Rail says, Storm, best team in the league. Yes. They're definitely playing well, playing well defensively, and I was just thinking I didn't want to take Chicago on the full game, which was 8 when I looked at it, because the class might show in the second half. I was just thinking, King Rail, that maybe a road game early start here, maybe they'll be a little bit sluggish to begin, but obviously King Rail likes a Storm, and he's much more likely to be right than me on this one. So we'll see. All right, other comments coming in. Hako Schofield 5150. My Astros represented last night. I made more than $2.80. All right, nice job, Hako Schofield 5150. However much you made, congratulations. I'm jealous. Yeah, more than 2. That's all I made in my official plays. Let's see. All right, other comments coming in, and then we'll jump right into the WNBA game that goes at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Let me see. Other comments coming in here. Everyone's talking about the Kawhi Leonard trade. Of course, that was a big deal, and everyone is talking about that one. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Let me see. Just checking for comments. Once again, huge shout out to all the great commenters who had such insightful and profitable opinions yesterday. Let me see. Other comments. Yes, Annie Marak is in the house. 2-1 in MMA, baby. Shout out to Annie Marak. 2-1. He had Vanderford going head-to-head against me, and then split with 2 big underdogs. Nice friggin' job, Annie Marak. And I also mentioned in the, when we were breaking down the Contender Series yesterday, that the Contender Series sees a lot more finishes than the higher level UFC cards, and that did continue yesterday. We saw a lot of finishes, and and I suggested that if you liked Pilarte, might have been worth a shot taking Pilarte inside the distance, which was plus almost 500. It was like plus 480 or something at 5 dimes yesterday, whereas Pilarte to win, I think, was just plus 270 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, Pilarte was around 270 or so in the show, but inside the distance was plus 480. And again, those Contender Series fights see finishes a lot more than we see in higher level UFC events, and it makes sense why that would be, because there are bigger discrepancies in talent and experience than there tend to be in the UFC events that have more experienced fighters, and and they can take advantage of that. So I think that if you like a side in the in the UFC Contender Series, seriously think about just taking all of them inside the distance at much bigger odds than if just taking them to win. All right, so let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. What else do we have here? Comments coming in, and then we'll get into it. Let's see. Nicholas Newell says, Shaq, where's your better half? Dirtbag at LOL. Y'all's asses rock. Best capper duos on the tube. Shout out to Nicholas Newell. He's getting a very, very well-deserved break. You know, he still has his most of his mind intact, so breaks help him. Breaks don't. My brain is completely fried. So for me, you know, a break doesn't help me at all. So that's why I'm here day in and day out. But Jimmy is still a reasonable human being, so breaks help him, and he deserves it. And I hope he's having a great break this week. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yes, Big Dick Donnie, shout out to King Rail taking Blazers yesterday. Absolutely. A few other people were suggesting they like Blazers as well. I actually didn't see anyone in the comments section saying that they liked the Lakers, and of course the Blazers cashed easily. So once again, congrats to everyone who had the who had the Blazers yesterday. And I guess we can now, Gerald Martinez says, Sky defense has been Swiss cheese, and the Liberty are not the storm they roll. Yeah, the Sky defense has been horrible. I just think that in this game, early on, maybe it'll be a little lethargic, and their defense will be a little bit better for a half. Maybe, hopefully. That's what I'm betting into, and I might have made a negative EV play on that one. All right. Michael Lunday says Seattle has a lot to play for because they need to finish in the top two so they get the double bye in the playoffs. That's true. In general, I like the playoff structure of the WNBA. The top teams will stay aggressive as the season winds down, I think. You're absolutely right, Michael Lunday. The WNBA has a playoff structure similar to the conference championships in college basketball, which is a much, much better structure than the NBA. And yes, the result is that top teams do wind up playing hard to the end, trying to get buys, trying to get double buys, and those actually absolutely matter in the WNBA playoffs. So yes, great point, Michael Lunday, and for everyone who wasn't aware of that, that is something to be aware of and to keep in mind. All right, that's it. All right, now we can move on to the 1 o'clock WNBA game. Trenton Claxton likes Indiana at the half, 8.5. Yeah, so this is an interesting game. This is an interesting matchup here, of course, because Minnesota is obviously an awesome team, but they have definitely been faltering a little bit recently, and it might not be a fluky thing. Minnesota might just, be a step down from what they were previously, and the fatigue is definitely getting to them. They're off of two straight up losses. Their game before that was a blowout win over Indiana, but we all remember a few games before that they were at home and got blown out by Indiana. So, the Lynx are definitely, they're struggling on the boards. Rebecca Brunson has been out for a few games, and they're just a team that looks a little bit fatigued right now. Not the kind of team that should be laying anywhere near this line here. And Indiana, again, is a bad team, a terrible team, and horrifically bad team. But they do tend to be the kind of team that sometimes, plays decently for, a quarter and a half or a half or three quarters, and then they wilt late. That has been the pattern for Indiana this year. So I was definitely thinking maybe Indiana first half might be worth a shot. Maybe the full game under. The two games that Indiana and Minnesota did play recently were relatively low scoring, and you got to think that Minnesota is off the two losses, probably not looking to exhaust themselves here, and probably looking to play a modest pace. Decent defense, get some rebounds, and come away with a maybe non-dominant and modest scoring win. So I was leaning unders here. I was leaning Indiana plus getting all these points. And of course, then I was thinking maybe a Minnesota team total under, although it's not that high, and Minnesota has had a bunch of games where they've been productive. But that's what I was thinking. Let's get to the comment section. I was thinking the under, Indiana, maybe first half, maybe full game, and maybe the first half or full game unders as well. Although it's not a very high total. Let's see where the lines have moved. Yeah, they've moved down a little bit. Indiana opened at 14.5. Now it's down to 14 or 13.5. And the total, has moved a little bit as well. Not that much. 157 is where it opened. 157 is still available at Bookmaker. Everyone else is lower than that. But again, those are my leans. Under, first half under, and Indiana plus the points. Let's check the opinions here. Bookie Bird says, yeah, under 156.5. Contrarian. Hako Schofield says, I'm on the Lynx. Let me see. Other comments here. Let me see. Other comments coming in. King Rail says minus 14.5 is a nasty number. Fever is bad, but no WNBA spread should be that high. And Lynx look old and keep getting outcoached. Yes, no WNBA spread should be that high, especially not with a team that's been playing the way the Minnesota Lynx have been playing recently. You know what I mean? Even if a team is dominant and rolling like Seattle, you could make the argument that no WNBA spread should be that high. But Minnesota's off of two straight up losses, and 5 or 6 games ago they were at home and lost by double digits to these very Indiana Fever players. So yeah. It does seem like one of these situations where the obvious call is to say no way should the Lynx be this big of a favorite, and the only reason you don't take Indiana is because you think you're outthinking yourself and thinking there's something that you're not getting. Obviously, the Lynx are a team that is a little salty right now, but they've had so many losses in a row that I don't think that this is necessarily a statement game for them where they're looking to reassert their dominance. I think that their statement games will come later in the season against better teams. I do think they want to come away here with a win, but just try to assert their competency on defense and rebounding, and not necessarily get a dominant win here. So I'm agreeing with King Rail. I'm thinking that Indiana plus 14.5 might have some value. The under might have some value. What do we have here? Let's see. Jim Tobleson says, got some golf picks when we get there. Yes, Jim Tobleson. I don't have any golf picks because I haven't had time to break it down, and golf is very tough to handicap if you don't have enough time to look into it deeply, because there's so much you can handicap and you can bet on. You can bet on like the top European player, the top U.S. player to make the cut, to make the top 20, matchup props, all that stuff. So, but I am familiar with the U.S. Open, of course, every year, and we will discuss it when we get there. Let's see. Tom Marino, I'm on Minnesota first half. They missed Brunson against Connecticut, couldn't rebound. They were humiliated last game. Bookie Bird likes Minnesota first half and the team total over 85.5. All right, so Bookie Bird expects a better offensive performance from Minnesota here. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Other comments. Trenton Claxton likes Indiana at the half at plus 8.5. Okay. Other comments coming in. Let me see. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's see. SM says Dennis Johnson top 20 at bet 365 is money. We will discuss that. Tomino likes Minnesota at the half, minus 8.5. Minnesota is off their worst home loss in a year. Yes, they are. But it wasn't a one-off thing for them. They've been, they've been losing game in and game out, including to Indiana recently. So I'm not entirely convinced that Minnesota has the personnel to justify the lines that we're seeing in this game. Maybe plus 14.5 on the full game is worth a shot. Not the first half at 8.5. I'm just concerned because Indiana's definitely been the kind of team that has played competitively in the beginning of games and less competitively towards the end. But that might be the reverse here because of the situation for Minnesota. Let's see. Other comments. Bookie Bird says if Lynx covers, it should go under. Okay. All right. Let me see. Other comments coming in here. Other comment. Taco Schofield is also on the Minnesota first half. Okay. I'm just scanning here. Taco Schofield likes first half Minnesota and the over. All right. Blake Kersey, I'm riding with you, Pete, on Sky and the under, passing on the Fever game. The Sky game, though, has already gone off. So, yeah, hope we cash on this one. All right. So no real strong opinions coming in here on the Minnesota game other than Tom Marino liking Minnesota on the first half, Bookie Bird liking Minnesota on the first half, and King Rail saying that the full game is a lot of points to be giving a team like Minnesota right now, which I would definitely agree with this. King Rail says, only touching this game with a 4-point teaser on total and spread, Fever plus 18.5 in the under. All right, so King Rail is generally agreeing with me on on my sense of the full game on this one, which would be lean to the under and lean to the Fever on this one. Let's see. Jansen Bonzone says, hey, Pete, no Wi-Fi in jail. Couldn't watch you guys. LOL. Congratulations, you're out. Jansen Bonzone. Hope you didn't get your cheeks busted in jail. I know that definitely happens. I'm not trying to joke about that's a serious thing. Guys getting their cheeks busted. You know what I'm saying? Guys getting dominated in jail by another man, getting shamed in such a lowly way. That is the lowest way that a man can be shamed. I know that sometimes happens because I watch Big Herc. I watch Big Herc's videos, and Jansen Bonzone, if you're coming out of the clink, you might enjoy Big Herc's videos. I recommend them. Look for them on YouTube. He gives a lot of practical advice on how to deal with various situations that could result in you getting your cheeks busted and how to avoid that. It's a situation you definitely want to avoid in jail. Jansen Bonzone, congratulations on being out of jail. All right, let's see. What else do we have here coming on? Let's see. Tom Marino says, Minnesota isn't as good this year, but Indiana is horrible. Yes, they missed Brunson against Connecticut. Connecticut is a playoff team. Ty Rich says, well, this show took a sharp turn. Ty Rich, I recommend you watching Big Herc's videos as well. They're very entertaining and informational for anyone who, is either about to be sent to jail or is living a lifestyle where that is a potential possibility, as it obviously is the case with Jansen Bonzone. Glad you're out. Congratulations for being out of jail, Jansen Bonzone. King Rail watches him. King Rail knows what I'm talking about, right? If King Rail ever has a situation where, he might wind up, locked down at some point, he'll be armed with the information in his head how to avoid getting his cheeks busted, right? King Rail knows what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. Enough of that tangent. Okay, I'm trying to decide here what I want to do here. Under 157 at bookmaker or Indiana plus the points. And now, wow, since I was wasting time, talking about getting your cheeks busted in jail, now there's no 14s available. So congratulations. I just wasted time on stuff I shouldn't. Oh, whoa. Now it just bounced back at Pinnacle up to 14. SBR odds, of course, is up to the second with these line moves, and it's even color coded. So anytime there's a red square on SBR odds, it indicates that there was a very recent line move, and apparently it just moved to a 14 at Pinnacle and now back up to Intertops. So money is coming back now on Minnesota. 14, 13 and a half. Not sure what I want to do here. Total is 157. Not sure what I want to do here. Not entirely sure what Lloyd Max 10 says. You talking about Fresh Out series? Yes, Fresh Out of the Penitentiary. I have no problem shouting out another YouTube series that I love to watch. Absolutely, Fresh Out of the Penitentiary. I love it. Very entertaining. Awesome. All right, let's see. Danksy says been going up for the fever on Heritage, Pete. All right, let me see. Oh, Jansen Bonzone says I was just on vacation. All right. Well, still, I'm sure we have some people here who could use the knowledge that is imparted in Fresh Out of the Penitentiary. All right. I'm gonna pass for now. I'm gonna pass on this Indiana Fever Minnesota game. The problem is just the total is kind of low. You know what I mean? It's a game that could easily sneak over. I don't want to have to eat a negative unit if I take the under 157 and Minnesota does start putting the points up, especially if they come out, exploding offensively early. And Indiana, there's probably value on Indiana plus 14, but wow, it's really getting bet up now at Pinnacle. It's now up to minus 14, minus 114, and now bet 365 up to minus 14 and a half. Wow. So money coming in on on Minnesota in the last 30 seconds or so while I was talking about getting cheeks busted. Man. All right, I'm gonna hold off on this game. I don't know what I think about it. And if I'm gonna go down, if I'm gonna lose a unit here and there, I want it to be a unit that I'm happy in retrospect that I bet. As I am okay with my Atlanta first half team total over yesterday. I just should have had some balls in taking the full game instead of the first half or taking both of them. All right. So that's it for WNBA right now. Once again, at about 12:50 or so, we'll check in with the Seattle-Chicago game and see if maybe there's a second half play that I want to add on. And now we can move on to golf. We can move on to golf right now. The U.S. Open Championship is going. It starts tomorrow, starts early, and the U.S. Open is the one thing to be aware of in the U.S. Open is that it's traditionally the most quote unquote unpredictable of all the majors, and the course that it's going to be played on this year is particular. It's called Carnoustie. It's in Scotland, and it is particularly crazy. There's a lot of advanced analytics and metrics that people use to handicap golf, and in this one, driving accuracy might be one of the most important ones. Obviously, in the end, putting matters, but putting is the most important factor as far as who winds up winning the events. But as far as who winds up doing well in general, if you're betting someone, to in a matchup prop or to make the cut or make top 20 or something like that, driving accuracy here might be a big deal because it's been very hot in Scotland recently, and it's the word is that even if they water the green greens. It's going to be, you know, the grasses are not going to be in good condition, and the course in general has a lot of holes with crosswinds and all sorts of like fairways that are very narrow. So driving accuracy may be a factor that you want to look into when you're taking if you're going to make a bet on the U.S. Open. And also in general, I would recommend take underdogs. A lot of unpredictability comes with the U.S. Open. They tend to be very close. They tend to go down to the wire. There was a run of about 3 years where there was a playoff in each of the 3 years. I forgot which years they were, but in general, there tends not to be a runaway winner in the U.S. Open, and they tend to go down. There tend to be a lot of guys jammed in at the end. So, you know, if you're going to bet, in general, I would say lean towards betting the bigger dogs, as big a dog as you can get, and, you know, expect high volatility and expect unpredictability and expect the unexpected. Now, world number one Dustin Johnson is the fave here, but he is not he is not you know, he's not the clear number one option as opposed to the excuse me, the U.S. Open. All right, let me see. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? Other comments coming in. Let's see if anyone is let me see. Other comments coming in. Oh yeah, it's the champions. Hold on. Did I say U.S. Open? Sorry, I must have misspoke there. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. It's SM says DJ top 20 and Rose top 20 will both cash. Yeah, let me see. Other comments coming in. Jansen Bonzone says Dustin Johnson should win. He hits long. Yeah, he is the favorite, just a lukewarm favorite though. And in general, in this one, I would not be looking to take you know, favorites any which way. But Jansen Bonzone says Dustin Johnson should win. Drew Daddy says I'm running with Fleetwood and Rahm. Yes, I've actually heard some other people suggest that Rahm might be a decent play here. Hold on, let me just find it. What's the reasoning that I read for someone who was liking Rahm? I do have a bunch of notes here. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Let me see. Where the hell is that Rahm? Where the hell is that Rahm comment? Where's that Rahm analysis? I put some notes down here. Can't find it. All right. We will. I'll just skip that. But yes, I did read some analysis that seemed like it was relatively sharp and trustworthy, saying that Rahm might have some value as a dog. All right. Sorry. Oh, Jesus. Yes. I'm sorry. I must have said the U.S. Open. It's not the. It's just the Open. It's not the U.S. Open. Sorry about that. That was. I know the difference between the U.S. Open. That was a misspeak by me. A slip of the tongue. Sorry about that. It's the British Open, aka the Open. All right. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Other comments coming in. Yep. End of the first quarter. 26-22 Storm. That's not very good. And King Rail might have once again nailed a WNBA call. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Comments coming in. Drew Daddy likes Tommy Fleetwood and John Rahm. Jim Tobleson, best bets to win. Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler, and Tiger Woods. All right, yes, Tiger Woods is back. You know, Tiger Woods is having notable problems with his driving accuracy recently. I know that is one of the big metrics that people are down on Tiger Woods for. And so that might be an indication that he might not do too well here. But again, expect the unexpected in the Open. And Jim Tobleson expects Tiger Woods to have to actually have some value to win. Jansen Bonzone says take a Euro player to win the Open. Let me see. Other comments coming in. I guess that's about it. Not that many, yep, Native Queen, boom, first quarter. Shout out to Native Queen King Rail, the handicapping, WNBA handicapping starters. I'm a bench player when it comes to WNBA handicapping. I can, I can fill in and provide some minutes when Native Queen's on break. You know, if King Rail has some family stuff to attend to, I can come in and provide some quality minutes. Well, I'm not a starter when it comes to WNBA handicapping. Great call, Native Queen, and it's looking good for King Rail's first half as well, -4.5 and -5. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Coming in, comments. Paco Healy says, golf is brutal. My God, are we really reaching this far? Yes, Paco Healy, golf is actually pretty fun to handicap. I just wish I had more time to do it accurately because there's a lot of bets you can make. You can bet matchup props. They have like the top European. They have the top, United States player. They have you can bet to make the top 5, the top 10, the top 20. all of that, and there's I love betting golf, but I just rarely have time to handicap it, sufficiently to actually bet actual money on it. But I think it's fun as hell, and there are some people who focus on it who absolutely know what they're doing and give out sharp plays, and they've given out sharp plays in the comments section all year long in some of the tournaments that we just haven't had a chance to cover and to make a segment for. But all right, so. Let's see. Jim Rome's a douche says, where is the Open? It's being played in Scotland. Jim Rome's a douche. It is being played in Scotland. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. I guess that's it for the golf segment that I did want to at least touch on. I have no bets. I'm not going to be betting it, and I have no recommended plays either. Thanks for all the comments for people who recommended, who gave their opinions in the comments section. And now let's move on to MLB. Of course, the MLB second half starts. It starts on Thursday, but the full card starts on Friday, and I definitely am collecting my thoughts overall. Hold on, let me just pull up here we go. One page I want to pull up. General thoughts that I'm thinking about for the second half in MLB. I am thinking that Cleveland in general might be a good bet, at least to start, especially when Miller comes back for the bullpen. We've talked about this in previous shows on previous days. Also, if that highly touted catcher comes up and starts to be productive. Cleveland, of course, is a great team. They were a good team at times in the first half as well, but a little bit underperforming. Their bullpen was a little bit underperforming, and I'm thinking that Cleveland might be a team to look for betting value in the second half. I'm also vaguely high on Milwaukee. They have a couple youngsters who might come up as well, and of course I think that their bullpen is their bullpen started off the year great, tailed down a little bit in the last 30 days of the first half, but I think in general we should expect their bullpen to be top 10, if not top 5, for most of the second half, at least until September. So I'm vaguely high on Milwaukee, vaguely high on Cleveland going into the second half. Teams I'm a little bit down on, everyone's talking about Seattle. Run differential is not good for them. A lot of one-run wins for Seattle. They were the third most profitable team in the first half. A lot of people are thinking that Seattle will be a team to look to fade and to be overvalued in the second half, and I am vaguely feeling that way myself as well. Of course, when the baseball season gets rolling, these are just thoughts that are in the back of my head. Obviously, I adjust all my opinions on the fly day by day, day in and day out. But these are my thoughts heading into the second half. Also thinking maybe Philly might be in for some negative regression in the second half. Their bullpen tailed off in the last 30 days, and that tail off with their bullpen might continue. Their lineup might be in for some negative regression. So those are the two teams that I'm thinking about for negative regression: Philly and Milwaukee. And as far as starting pitchers that I'm thinking about, here, hold on one second. Let me just bring up my sheet here. The pitchers. Hold on one second. Pitchers I'm thinking about fading. One pitcher I am thinking about fading is going to be Leake. I know that Mike Leake has been awesome in the first half, and start in and start out was getting some nice results. Now, I'm not sure if he has the profile of one of these pitchers who is likely to outpitch his peripherals as some starting pitchers are. Mikolas is an example of one of those guys. I'm not convinced that Leake is one of those guys. Hold on, come on. Here we go. I'm not convinced that Leake is one of those guys, and I'm looking to maybe fade Leake in the second half. I'm definitely looking to fade Leake in the second half, or at least keep an eye out for that. Hold on, let me see. God, Jesus, sorry about this. Hold on. Okay, there we go, and there. Come on. All right. There we go, and there. All right, there we go. Okay. Other pitchers I think might be good in the second half, at least to start. Obviously pitchers can break down mechanically, and anything can happen, after a month or a few weeks is done. But I'm thinking John Gray for Colorado, especially on the road and maybe even at home, will be a good starter. Guy we're looking to bet on, at least in the first few starts. Ross Stripling for the Dodgers. I really like this guy. Now, obviously, the Dodgers have added on Machado. So, Stripling, he doesn't need. He's not going to be one. He doesn't need a whole lot of run support. You give him a few runs. I think this is a guy who's he'll be lights out when he needs to be, and have a strong 6-inning 3-run start when he needs to be as well. Stripling obviously was excellent in the first half, and I'm thinking that might continue into the second half as well. German Marquez for Colorado, again, a guy that I'm going to look to be betting on when he's on the road, not necessarily at home, but when he's on the road. Domingo Germán for the Yankees. If he gets things figured out, especially with that lineup, he might also be a guy who has some betting value. I'm going to look for Germán to maybe have some betting value in the second half. And I'm also vaguely high on Eric Lauer and Tyler Anderson. These are two guys that I have pretty guys who I think might maintain their success or continue or even improve on it to start the second half. Guys, I'm thinking about fading again. Let's see, Leak. I'm not too high on Leak. One guy I'm thinking about to maybe also Chase Anderson. I'm definitely looking to fade Chase Anderson in the second half. I think he definitely outperformed his mean in the first half, and I think Chase Anderson will come crashing back down to earth. Now, of course, the Brewers should have a strong lineup and a strong bullpen, so I'm not necessarily going to be betting money lines against him, more just team total overs and first 5-inning team total overs. But I definitely expect some negative regression from Chase Anderson. Another guy who might be overvalued in the second half, believe it or not, Luis Severino for the Yankees. We've seen Severino have, just huge favorite lines every start out, no matter who he's matched up against. And I think he may have overperformed a little bit what his peripherals are indicating. And I'm thinking that Severino might actually be a little bit overvalued in the second half. Again, not sure I want to be betting against the Yankees with money lines or anything like that, but looking one way or another for Severino to be maybe a little bit overvalued in the second half. Leak is a guy I'm looking to maybe fade in the second half. This guy for the Angels, Barria, right? A guy that Jimmy the Bag faded at the end of the first half, and I think he was on the right track there. Looking for him, they fade him in the second half. James Shields, John Lester, those are two guys, veterans, who might wear down in the second half. I think we might see some negative regression from them, and those are guys who have kind of big names, so we might get some nice lines fading them. And Sean Manaea, another guy, of course, he threw the no-hitter and everything. Big upside for Manaea when he's on his game, but when he's off his game, he really slumps. And I'm thinking that Sean Manaea might be very fadeable this year, especially if the A's, lines start adjusting a little bit. They were the most profitable team in the first half. I'm thinking Manaea is a guy I'm looking to fade. And other guys I have on my list here: Michael Wacha, Straley, Francisco Liriano, all guys in this group of pitchers that I have here in my sheet that I'm generally looking to fade. Other guys, Trevor Williams, Chad Kuhl for the Pirates. Those are two guys that I think might be in for some negative regression in the second half as well. So we'll see how it all turns out. But those are some of my thoughts. Let's see what any people in the comments section have to say here. Let's see, a lot of comments coming in. Tuvin Gansam says, "Yo, Pete, watch your channel 23-1. Of course I watch 23-1. Of course I watch that one. That guy is awesome. Paints boats. I love it. Of course I watch that. Tuvin Gansam. Let me see. Other comments coming in on, okay. Joe Vasconcelos says, "No way you fade Severino." Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Severino is legit awesome, and the Yankees, obviously, with that lineup and that bullpen, are a team that, in general, I think is going to have value going forward and be undervalued as awesome as they are. I just have some analytics that I've seen that indicate that Severino might have overachieved just a little bit his mean in his expected average in the first half. But we'll see. These are just thoughts that I'm just throwing out there. They're in my head, bouncing around, and I just decided to spit them out and see if anyone has to say anything about anything that I have to say. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in here. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Scherzer, hail to the victor, says Scherzer overrated, starting to fade. Yeah, I mean, Scherzer's lines obviously are going to be, in the stratosphere every start. And the big question with the Nationals is just what's up with that lineup? Are they going to start to get consistent production, or are we going to continue to see one or two offensive explosions every 10 games and the other 8 or 9 games in that 10-game span underachieving, underwhelming performances offensively, 4 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs, 1 run? Yeah. Scherzer may be overrated, and especially if the Nationals continue to be sluggish offensively, then there may be some great value fading shirts, or you might be right there. Hail to the victors. Yeah, Alert Eddie says the Yankees offense will always carry Severino. That's absolutely true, and the same factors are in play with Severino, I think, as with what the hell is that guy's name? The Milwaukee pitcher that I just quoted. I just said I wanted to fade. As with Chase Anderson, right? As with Chase Anderson. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Other comments coming in. Let's see. Anyone giving any opinions? Mr. Gokster says fading Chassin. Okay. You know, Chassin has been sort of mediocre. I have no real opinion on him. He might continue to be mediocre, or he might dip down to solidly sub-mediocre. We'll see. Let's see. What else do we have here? Eric Swiatek, Mariners in general may be a good fade spot. Okay. Let me see. Other comments coming in here. Eric Swiatek says, I think both Leak and LeBlanc are decent fades. Yes, LeBlanc is also a guy that I've been thinking about fading, although I have to look into him a little bit more. You know, there are some pitchers who do appear to have a skill for being able to outperform their peripherals, you know, year in and year out over a big sample size. I don't think LeBlanc is one of those guys, but he sure, you know, impressed this year, and it's interesting to see. You know, I'm looking to it a little bit more and see if maybe he's one of those guys. I don't think he is, though, and I agree with you, Eric Swiatek. Fading Leak and LeBlanc is something I'm vaguely thinking about doing in the second half. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Let's see. Oh, Anil Frank, I think Seattle will continue to win. Okay. Most people are thinking that Seattle will not continue to win, but you might be that might be a nice contrarian play there. You know, we'll see how it turns out. Von Polo says, why do you like Milwaukee? They just lost 6 games in a row. They got swept in a doubleheader. That never happens. This team is falling off. Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams that have, you know, a quality makeup tend to flame out a little bit at the end of the first half. We saw that, of course, with the Chicago Cubs the year that they won the World Series. I like Milwaukee. I think they have a live lineup and a solid bullpen and a pitching staff that should keep them in games. So I like their lineup. I like their bullpen, and I think they have. Most importantly, of course, I think they have the makeup of a team that might continue to be a little bit under the radar in terms of betting value. So I'm thinking that Milwaukee, you know, might have some betting value in general going forward. A team that will win a little bit more than the market is giving them credit for. All right, let's see. Kobe Valentine says fade Baltimore. Of course, yes. Baltimore was by far the worst team in terms of ROI in the first half, and if you auto-faded Baltimore in the first half, you are a tech billionaire right now, and congratulations for doing that. The question is just, how much will the market adjust with Baltimore? Is the market going to radically adjust and say this is just a AAA dog shit team? Let's throw up these plus 250 lines for Baltimore game in and game out. Even if they do that, the market might not be able to adjust enough to even bring Baltimore back to being appropriately valued. So we'll see. We'll see how exactly bad Baltimore is and how exactly strongly the market adjusts as far as their big underdog lines. But yeah, it does feel like in order for Baltimore even to be just even in the second half, the market would have to make a significant adjustment, in their favor towards their underdog lines, and their performance on the field would have to make some sort of a significant jump, a significant and unexpected jump. And it does seem just unlikely that both of those things will happen. They probably won't be a minus 35% ROI team again in the second half, but, you know, could easily see them being a solid minus 8%, minus 10% type ROI team in the second half, and that fading them will once again be profitable, if not as profitable as it was in the first half. All right, let's see. Anil Frank says Dodgers and win to National League. Kobe Valentine's fade Milwaukee and Seattle. That's interesting. Kobe Valentine, I'm interested to see why you would say that you want to fade Milwaukee. I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see. Kobe Valentine has labeled Milwaukee as a team he's thinking about fading. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Jim Tobleson says he has a few more golf plays. Thank you very much. Very interested to hear that. Noah Lastark, any head-to-head golf predictions? Noah Lastark, I did not have time to handicap the Open, although I would have loved to. But you know, I love handicapping golf in general, but just did not have enough time to do it accurately. So I am passing on the Open this year completely. But we do have some commenters who are giving some picks for sure. Let's see. All right, let me see. Just scanning here. We're having an easy, nice and easy, relaxed day here. Let me just quickly check to see if where the WNBA game is, if it's close to the second half, if it's close to the halftime line here. And, you know, we might actually have about 10 minutes to get to the Q&A segment of today's show, which will just be just asking, oh, wow, okay, there you go. All right. Yeah, Chicago's down 7 with 3.5 to play. Okay, we'll see how this turns out. Looks like the first half under is toast. I'm looking like I'm going to eat a loss on that one, unless they slow things down. Here, let's see. Go to it. WNBA.com. You tend to have more up-to-the-second results here. You're watching SBRodds.com, SportsbookReview.com, SBRForum.com. My name is Peter Loshak. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions or comments on the Open coming up tomorrow, the second half in MLB, or any specific gambling theory-related comments for me. All right, wow, okay, there you go. Chicago now down 11 with 2 minutes to go. Congratulations, King Rail, nailing yet another WNBA pick. Follow King Rail on Twitter for WNBA plays and anything else that he, you know, the Summer League, of course, is over. NBA doesn't start for a while, but King Rail absolutely dominating WNBA from the beginning of the season. Very, very impressive. Giving another winner here with Seattle on the first half, -4.5 and 5. That's about to cash, and I'm about to eat 2 losses here, taking Chicago first half +5 and the under at 86.5. Unbelievable. All right, let's see. Let's see. What do we got going on here? What do we got going on here? All right, any other comments coming in? Any other comments coming in? Let me see, let me see. Walter Trotter saying, laugh my ass off. Y'all too much this morning, bro. Absolutely, I am too much this morning. Comment section is too much this morning. We're just chilling out. We're just having a fun time here. Let's see, I guess that's about it. I think I'm going to pass on this, I'm going to pass on the second half on this game, Seattle and Chicago. I obviously don't have a good read on this one. I would be leaning Chicago on the second half again. You know, Seattle's a great team, but are they going to be motivated to win this game by 20 on the road? Probably not. Chicago will probably be, you know, a small second half favorite. And I would have a lean to the under as well, although in a game like this, defense might just completely break down in the second half. So I'm almost definitely going to pass on the on second half plays here, although I will acknowledge the lines when they come out. And now we can officially get to the Q&A segment of today's show. We do have about 10 minutes. If you want to ask any questions, I will do my best to answer them as accurately and thoroughly and honestly as possible. If you don't have any questions, we can wrap this show up early. Again, we will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight. What are we going to talk about tonight? I guess we'll talk about golf again. You know, golf doesn't go until tomorrow, so we can get more golf analysis and golf picks. I'll do some research into that one. We do tomorrow morning. We do also have the Philippines Commissioner's Cup in basketball. King Rail, check this out. Why don't we handicap the Philippine Commissioner's Cup that goes tomorrow morning, the PBA Commissioner's Cup in basketball. King Rail, that is tomorrow morning. It is the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. Rain or Shine Elasto Painters as a significant underdog to the Barangay Ginebra. 6-point favorites. Barangay Ginebra, 6-point favorites over the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters in the PBA Commissioner's Cup in the Philippines. So maybe I'll try to look into that one and give an official pick for that one. I might actually do that. And then, of course, we do have Mexican baseball going on tonight as well, featuring the Vaqueros de la Laguna against the Diablos Rojos del Mexico. The Mexican Red Devils, a big favorite here over the Vaqueros of the Beach. Vaqueros de la Laguna. A lot of Mexican baseball going on tonight. Maybe I'll try to handicap some of that, and maybe we'll give some official Mexican baseball picks tonight in the 6 o'clock show, as well as a pick in the Commissioner's Cup in Philippines basketball. I'm thinking there might be a live dog in Mexican baseball. The Tecoletes de los Dos Lareros. Tecoletes de los Dos Lareros as a small underdog against the Piratas de Campeche. I don't know what the hell that means, but I think the Tecoletes de los Dos Lareros might be a live dog tonight in Mexican baseball. And also leaning the Pericos de Puebla, +160 against the Toros de Tijuana. Wow, okay, I know what that means. The Tijuana Bulls. Big favorite. Big favorite over the Pericos de Puebla. That means Pericos de Puebla. That means cocaine of the house. I know Perico it means cocaine. I'm shocked that they named a freaking baseball team after that, but okay. Pericos de Puebla, a big underdog against the Toros de Tijuana. The house cocaine against the Tijuana Bulls. I'm going to handicap that game, and I will have a more in-depth analysis of all of this in the evening show. This looks fun, as well as the Commissioner's Cup in Philippines basketball. All right, let's get to some comments here. Yes, King Rail, check it out. Check it out, the Commissioner's Cup in Philippines basketball. Let's see, what else do we have here? Any comments coming in? Bill Buttlicker, Q&A. Pete, any tips on how to hit the G-spot? Come on, man. What kind of a question is that? Yes, you do like this and you push up, okay? Yes, there's your tip. But don't ask those kind of questions, Bill Buttlicker. But yes, I have a tip. Yes, you do like this and you push up and pull like this, okay? Right? And you go up and pull, right? Like that, okay? That's how you do it. But there's other videos online. You don't have to ask me about that. But okay, I can answer that question, Bill Buttlicker. Yes, I can. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? Other comments here. Other comments coming in. Any comments? Any questions? Let's see. Caleb Ford says, look forward to some golf chat this afternoon. Yes, we might, on a serious note, we might actually be able to find some good value with golf. When I bet golf tournaments, I tend to like to bet guys either in matchup props, but more usually I just go for, top 20, top 10, those kinds of deals. All right, let's see. Annie Marak says, Pete, can we do MMA? I have my breakdown set to go and email to you. Then Friday with MLB back, it won't be too busy. Yes, Annie Marak, we can do MMA tomorrow, not this afternoon. This afternoon, if we have any extra time, we're going to try to give some golf tips. We're going to comb the internet to find some golf tips. MMA will come tomorrow, though, for sure. All right, let's see. Other comments here. Kyle Jack says, Pete, what's your opinion on esports and betting on it? Not too much content about it available, but so much potential value being left on the table with it. I basically agree with everything you just said, Kyle Jack. I'm very interested in esports betting. I'm trying to educate myself as much as I can about it, but you're right. It's a little bit hard to figure out, just from a beginner's standpoint, what the key factors are. What are the key factors that might be predictive? It's obviously, since it's not a physical sport like other sports, a lot of the usual factors that you might expect to matter are not in play. So it's sort of a new animal. I'm trying to educate myself as much as I can. Information and key information is a little bit hard to find at this point, but I wish I had more time to immerse myself in it, because I definitely would love to become an expert on esports betting as soon as possible. I just don't have that much time to do it. But everything you said, I absolutely agree with. Not too much content about it available, absolutely right, but so much potential value being left on the table with it. I mean, anytime you have a market like that where it's hard to find information, then by definition, yes, if you are one of the people who can find the information and know how to analyze it, there's bigger value than in any other market that is a lot more mature. So great question, Kyle Jack. I hope at some point over the next 6 months I find the time to learn about esports betting, but as of right now, not looking that promising. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Nostradamus says Fowler has the feel of someone about to win. He's talking about Ricky Fowler. Maybe Ricky Fowler has some value in the Open. We'll see. Let's see. What else do we have here? Going on. Questions. SM says, here's my question. Pete, your free pick made $100 on the American League. Team total over. Congratulations with how do I pay you? I don't know if I can expect. I can't accept payment for this shit. I'm not a professional SM. You know what I'm saying? I'm a well-intentioned, honest, and educated recreational handicapper. I can't accept payment for my opinions. I give my opinions out here honestly. I do as much research as I possibly can, and I do the best that I possibly can. But I'm no professional handicapper here. I can't accept payment for any opinions here. Chris Gard says the British Open, Pete, not the U.S. Open. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. It's confusing because the British Open is called the Open, and the U.S. Open is also one of the majors. So I made that mistake. Sorry about that. I misspoke. Yes, I know it is not the U.S. Open. I apologize, Chris Garza, and to anyone else who caught that mistake and now has diminished my estimation has been diminished in their eyes. All right. Noah Lastark says Ricky Fowler will play conservative. SM says I'm paying up $100. Too bad. I can't take money from you, SM. I mean, yes, I can, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. Wow. Native Queen, energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. Yes, absolutely. That is a fundamental law of physics, meaning love and hate are both energy or energy. So when hate energy comes your way, wow, that's not a question, but great comment there from Native Queen. Yes. I have tried to love, and I have only sent out love energy, Native Queen, and I have gotten a lot of hate energy back my way. But maybe what you're saying is that love energy will come in due time. All right, let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have here? Comments coming in. We're about to end this show. We're about to end this show in a second. We're just looking for some comments here. Underdog Ruiz 40 says, Japan baseball, Pete, is great moneymaker. Look into it. Absolutely. I know Charles Stark handicaps Japanese baseball, and yeah, I'm sure that Japanese baseball has some great betting value. Yeah, I should look into it. Again, I just wish I had more time. And actually, talking about these Mexican league odds here in Mexican baseball, I'm noticing that Pinnacle's spreads here are just massive. They're not even close to what they offer in U.S. baseball. So that tells me that you really have to know what you're talking about when you're betting into these lines here at Pinnacle. It also tells me that Pinnacle is scared of this market and thinks it can be beaten, or thinks that it's fixed, which I would not be surprised by either of those things. All right, what else do we have here? Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. Jansen Bonson says, Pete, is High Ally still being played? I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't seen High Ally mentioned in the news or in a public forum for quite a while. I'm sure somewhere it is being played. Nick Dial says, I have only 2 picks to win, Zach Johnson and Mark Leishman. Okay, Nick Dial likes Zach Johnson and Leishman. Interesting. I'm going to check those odds. Ty Rich says, I got to bet on Zach Johnson as a former winner at plus 1,200. So good luck to you, Nick. I think he'll have a good weekend. All right. Love these comments coming in. Love these comments coming in. Let's see. May less, pay less way. Pete, you ever listen to Beethoven while capping? No, I should know. I listen to Beethoven all the time. Love Beethoven. And that's not a joke. Like when I said I love Slayer. I don't really love Slayer, but I do love Beethoven. And I do listen to him. And I was watching some Beethoven documentaries just this weekend. Strange that you would say that. May less, pay less way. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. And we will wrap this up very soon. Any other questions coming in? Any other comments coming in? And we will wrap this up very soon. All right, actually, let me just check to see what the second half line is on this WNBA game here. I'm sure it's out right now. Man, Jesus, Seattle won by 17 points in the first half. Friggin' great call, King Rail. 4.5 or 5. They win by 17. Unbelievable. Shows you what I know. All right, let's see what the second half line is here. Now I see that my bets on those first half WNBA plays have reduced my bankroll. Let's see what we have here. Chicago, yeah, minus 1.5 and 89. I'd have to lean under. I'd have to lean under in the second half, although you just don't know with these teams. They might just not play any defense at all. But at 89 minus 115, I'd have to be leaning under here. I got to be leaning under here. Are these guys going to run up the score? They might, but I don't think so. But I'm going to hold off. I'll hold off. It could go into the stratosphere. I'm not going to take the under. And the second half, Chicago minus 1.5, minus 115. Yeah, I'd lean that way as well. But I'm going to pass on both of those. Chicago minus 1.5 and the under are ways that I would be thinking. But I'm going to pass on both of those. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to the Seattle Storm and WNBA right now. All right. Let me see. Let's get some final comments, and then we'll wrap this shit up. Mr. Gokster says, Pete, when are you flying in? I believe Thursday evening. Aero, Mexico, Thursday evening. Let's see. Other comments here. Nick Dial. God, I love the people who really are familiar with handicapping this U.S. Open tournament. It is the U.S. Open. No, it's not. I'm kidding around. Nick Dial says, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Ricky fan. The man just isn't clutch at all. Can't ever seem to get off to a good start in the majors. Actually, let me just review some of the golf notes that I do have here that I was thinking about. Let me see. Let me just review some of these golf notes. Let me see if there's anything that I want to identify here. Yeah, it does seem that Bernard Langer for the senior eligible golfers might be worth a shot. He does have a lot of top 5 finishes at the Open, and he's minus 188 right now at Bet365. And that line might be this might be a favorite with value. Bernhard Langer to beat out all the other senior eligible golfers. All the other guys are big underdogs, and it seems like they're all just going to fade behind Langer. So that might be a play. I'm thinking about that one, tossing that around in my head. Those are the kinds of plays that can't have value with tournaments like these. Let's see. All right, that's about it. We'll discuss the Open a lot more in the afternoon show, and we'll get a lot more comments from commenters, and I'll think about what plays or advice I might want to give. I'll do the best that I possibly can. Ty Rich says, I really like this play, Pete. What's he talking about? Oh, I think he's talking about my play on Bernhard Langer. Yes, absolutely. Bernhard Langer, it looks like he's, sometimes there can be sort of under the radar bets in big tournaments like these where there's, so many bets you can possibly make. I might throw that one on there as an official play. Langer at about minus 188, minus 200 to come out on top of all the senior eligible golfers. Okay, let's see. Yes, Underdog says Langer's been solid last few years, Pete. Yes, he certainly has been. Let's see. Nick Dial says you don't have to hit it far to win this tournament. Fairways are hard and fast. Shorter hitters have just as much of a chance as the longer hitters. Yes, and drive distance is another metric that people use to analyze golf. And in with certain courses, it matters a lot more than in others. Nick Dial giving the opinion that drive distance does not matter as much in this one, or maybe not matter at all. Let's see. What else do we have here? Ty Rich likes Ty Hatton. Top Englishman plus 800 is another play of mine. All right, I'm going to think about this a little bit further. And that's it. That's it for today's show. Thanks, guys. We didn't have a whole lot to talk about, but we definitely had some interesting analysis. I think we gave some nice picks. We did give some nice analysis of the Open Championship that goes tomorrow, and I'll try to do some more research today. We'll get some other commenters coming in, doing more research over the course of the afternoon, and hopefully with some insights this afternoon. Again, we won't have any WNBA tonight. We'll have just golf, more MLB talk, and maybe some talk about Mexican baseball, and maybe some sharp analysis of the PBA Commissioner's Cup in the Philippines, which goes tomorrow. Once again, that is the rain or shine Elasto Painters as a significant underdog against the barangay Ginebra. That'll be all at 6 o'clock Eastern time right here at sbrvideos.com. Thanks, everyone.